Could the Loch Ness Monster be amphibious? This is all things creepy, let's begin. So this photograph was taken in Killern in the field of a small village called Stirlingshire. Now, at first glance it seems to have the characteristic telltale signs of the Loch Ness Monster, a long neck and a more plump, rotund body. And as I'm sure you can imagine, people reported it as such, saying, the Loch Ness Monster has been sighted on land. The general consensus is that the Loch Ness Monster is a plesiosaur, so I don't really see why it would be on land. I guess a few of them may have beached themselves temporarily to lay eggs, similar to a turtle, but this thing is clearly outside of that range. It's on dry grass, so it's obviously not on a mud bank or anywhere near a river for that matter. Some are now suggesting that perhaps the Loch Ness Monster is amphibious, so when they did that famous full scan of the body of water years ago, maybe the Loch Ness Monster was out on land, so we didn't pick him up on the radar. And whilst this does seem kind of like a convenient excuse, maybe there is some truth to it. So let's take a look at the creature itself depicted in this image. Notice the limbs, the ones that we can see clearly at least. They're clearly pretty small. Almost the proportions of a theropod dinosaur like T-Rex, and would be pretty much useless in efficiently mechanically moving. And isn't the Loch Ness Monster supposed to have flippers? These don't look like flippers. If anything, this seems to resemble more of a sauropod dinosaur, but once again, those forelimbs would not be able to support a creature of this size and its weight. And the more you look at this picture, maybe for some of you you saw this instantly, it starts to look like a tree stump. Even the coloration appears to be bark-like with maybe some lichen on it. And as we know, trees tend to develop in very interesting ways to get to the sunlight, so when all the leaves come off and some of the branches break away, you could easily end up with a tree stump shaped like this. It's also out in the grasslands, which is where you will find trees. Of course, the main question that arises next is, well, if it's a tree, why didn't the people just go up to it? Surely they would have seen that it wasn't moving when they took this picture. And yes, that would be the case. But sadly, people do have the ability to lie. And they could have easily seen this, thought, that looks kind of like the Loch Ness Monster. I'm going to get a lot of clicks and attention from this if I sell it to a newspaper. And they then proceeded to do so. I'm sure if you visited the exact location, you could find a tree stump just like this. Unless it's been removed by now, which is possible. Who knows, they may have removed it themselves after taking the picture to kind of complement the story that they're building. I'm not buying it, maybe you are. Leave in the comments below if you think there's anything I've overlooked. Like the video if you did, share it with a friend, and of course if you haven't already, subscribe for more creepy content.